Most people think that discipline means pushing through regardless of how you feel. And I thought so too. But that's not how it works. Discipline is about creating an environment where success feels effortless. So in this video, I will explain exactly what I've done to make myself addicted to discipline, how it changed my life, and how it can change yours too. My name is Jere, and I want to inspire you to dream bigger and to help you take action towards your dreams. Discipline is actually a system, because you reach a goal more easily by having a great system. So if a goal is the destination, the systems you use are the steps you take to reach it. Take a look at this. Let's compare you to a train and your goal to the train station. To reach the train station, you need train racks. The train racks are your systems. The better the systems, the less fuel you need to reach your next goal. Now let's use an example a lot of people can relate to. What if you want to lose 10 pounds? You are now at the 10 pounds too heavy train station. So to reach your 10 pounds lighter train station, you need train racks to get you there. Now your track is a very rough ride, as you can see. So to make this route easier for yourself, you pick something like going to the gym. But let's make it even smoother than this. You create a training schedule and you decide you go 3 times a week at 6:30 p.m. after work. Now you solve the questions of how you will lose weight, when you go to the gym, and what you're going to do when you are at the gym. What we've just done on a small scale is demonstrate how a system works. You've just made it easier for yourself to lose those 10 pounds. But in this video, we'll make discipline so easy for you that you'll become addicted to it and finally reach your goals. But this video is not just about reaching goals. It's ultimately about reaching very big goals. So let me share something with you that I recently learned from Alex Hormozi. The importance of volume. Volume is the total amount of what you do or make. It can be input or output focused. Doesn't matter. Let me give you an example. When you work 1 hour on something, the volume of time is 1 hour of work. And if you were cooking during that hour, the volume of your output could be a meal. So if we're using the train example from earlier, volume is the distance you travel on the tracks to your next station. And if you have a big goal, the station is probably far away. So you want to maximize the distance you travel every day. But to give you a better understanding of how important volume actually is in reaching a big goal, let me share a story with you from my own experience. There was a time when I wanted to become a professional soccer player. Most pros start around the age of 5 to 7. If you were an above average player at that age, it was possible for you to be scouted to a professional youth team. There you train for years, compete with other great players, and get the best possible care with the best possible coaching staff. You start training about 3 times a week. But as you get older, it decreases to 5 or 6 times a week. So let's compare this player at 19 years old to the 19-year-old that was me. I played soccer with friends sometimes when I was young, but I really joined a club around the age of 13. I trained at the club twice a week, once a week on my own, and I had 1 game in the weekend. And let's not even mention the fact that I didn't have the best players around me to compete with, didn't have the best care or the best coaching staff. I did this until I was around 18. Not long after, I got inspired by Kobe Bryant's work mentality. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, I trained 3 or 4 times a day. But even though I did this for quite some time, I still felt like I was miles away from the other 19-year-old players who started at an early age. And now I understand why. After 6 years of training, I had worked about 2,000 hours. And for them, after 13 years of training, they ended up with 4,500 hours. So they did more than double what I did. And it's in the most favorable scenario for me, because I'm not even considering the quality of training and all the other factors like strength training, studying the game, and having the best coaching staff possible. So if you want to reach big goals, know the volume you need to reach them. Later, I'll teach you how to create an unbeatable system that makes you addicted to discipline. But first, I made a big mistake this year, and I want to make sure you don't do the same. In the last story, we focused solely on input. That is how much time you put into something. But what's even more important is your output, which means what you produce or achieve from the time you put in. This year, I've worked on 2 very big but similar videos about Kobe Bryant. With the first video, I focused on how many hours I would put in every week. So the results mattered less than the time I spent. With the second video, I did exactly the opposite and focused almost only on what I wanted to get done at the end of the week. This made me much more focused on the most important tasks, even when they were really boring. So let me bring this home for you. The first video took me 8 months to make, and the second one took me only 2.5 months to make. More than 3 times as fast. PS, it performed 25 times better than the first video in the first 2 months. Crazy, I know. So the volume of your output is the distance, and the volume of your input is the speed at which you drive. By focusing on your output, which is the distance, you can reach big daily goals because you feel the urgency. And your daily goals are small train stations on the way to your big ones. Now you can adjust the speed of your train to the destination you want to reach today. But if you only focused on making sure you're driving, which is your input, the speed wouldn't matter, and you would arrive much later to your big station, which means you arrive later on your big goals. Later, I'll show you examples of how I use systems to make sure I reach my goals. But first, let's make sure you can create the best possible systems for yourself, so it becomes as easy as possible to reach your goals. So you are the train, and the train stations are your goals. Let's make sure your train wreck is smooth, solid, and reliable, so you can travel as fast as you can with the least amount of resistance and using as little fuel as possible. The principle to create the best systems is called Audit, Transfer, Fill. I learned it from Dan Martell and his book, Buy Back Your Time. Look at this. You have 7 days in a week, and each day has 24 hours, as we all know. You spend those hours on all kinds of things. Maybe school, work, sports, or just scrolling on your phone. But time is limited, and you want to spend it on the things that truly matter to you. Spending time with people you love, working towards your goal, or doing things that makes you happy. So the first step is to figure out where your time is actually going. You probably already know most of it, but to track it properly, you can make something called a time audit. Keep track of everything you do for a few days, from brushing your teeth to going to bed. The next step is to transfer, optimize, or limit. Let me give you an example from my own life. I was spending 1 hour every day prepping my food because I wanted to get my calories and my proteins in. So that means 7 hours a week just on prepping my food. I noticed that in my time audit. So now I spend 2 hours on Sunday prepping my food for the whole week. I've just won 5 hours back. P.S. I'm cheating way less on my diet because all I need to do is eat my meals, making my fitness goals even easier to reach. Most people think that being productive means doing a lot, but real productivity comes from doing less of what drains you, so you have more time and energy for what truly moves you forward. So you want to optimize your life to maximize your goals, your health, and your relationships. And to optimize this even more, the next step is to buy all my meals online. So I spend about only 50 minutes a week on meal prep. But we are not done yet. If I did nothing with all those 5 extra hours, optimizing would be useless. So now I spend those 5 extra hours working on my YouTube channel. This means I can create more volume and upload extra videos. This also means more and faster revenue for me, so I can optimize and buy back my time even more. This is one of the examples I use to optimize my week and maximize my goals. But let me give you a few extra tips to crush your goals even more and to help you understand what it really means to get addicted to discipline. Use your calendar. My calendar is my compass for the week. This is a crucial step for me because I schedule everything in there. When I do my meal prep, when I work out, when I work on videos, and when I spend dedicated time with my wife. If you don't use a calendar, start using it now. If you don't even know what you should be doing right now, how could you expect to reach your daily goals and eventually your yearly goals? Also, your calendar is the guardian of your time. If less important stuff comes up, you'll be able to say no because you know what is the most important thing to do right now. Because of my calendar, I know exactly when I need to work out. I train every morning, so every night before I go to bed, I make sure my gym clothes are ready for the next day. I also know exactly what I want to do in the gym. All of this makes it as easy as possible for me to get my workouts in, 5 or 6 times a week. And because of my meal prepping, I get the right amount of calories and protein in every day. This makes building my dream body and staying healthy feel like I'm playing on easy mode. The last thing I do, and I know this isn't for everyone, is that I have absolutely no social media on my phone. This is actually the easiest one for me. Right now, I'm in the phase of building my business and YouTube channel without any employees, so I need to maximize my time. I'm not saying this will be forever, but at least not for this season in my life. So all of these things are habits. They make my systems work, but you need to make the choice to do them every day. Your choices are like switches on a train track, And as small as they seem in the moment, they become very big when you zoom out. Small choices, whether positive or negative, made every day will make a massive difference over a long period of time. And to help you understand this even better, if you were to build a train track from New York to Los Angeles, but made a seemingly small mistake by adjusting the direction by 3 degrees, you'd end up much closer to Tijuana than Los Angeles. So now you have great tools to make yourself addicted to discipline. But everything I've told you in this video wouldn't work if you didn't know where you were going. If you want to find out what the best direction is for you to go, you need to create a mission. And if you want to know how people like Mr. Beast, Kobe Bryant, and Elon Musk did it so well that they became the top 0.01% in their fields, click on this video right here.